All right, welcome back, everybody. Well, let me fix this real quick because it's way too close to my face. All right, there we go. Thank you all for being here. We are in week 17, so we only have one more regular season Sunday Slate preview after this. The Bengals game was amazing, and now the Finns actually have a shot. I know. I was very hyped about it, and the Bengals tried a lot of different ways to lose that game, and it was kind of incredible. But yeah, it was a lot of fun. I really liked that game. The overtime game was sweet. And yeah, the Finns have a shot. Finns went out, and the Chiefs beat the Broncos next week, and the Colts lose one of their two games. We're in. And I don't know if Tua plays today or not, but the Dolphins have a chance, and that's all that matters. So I'm excited that you're excited, Kai Norkel. I remember from last week. I know how to pronounce your name. I did have a hard time. Dude, the thing, it's like, I don't get it. The Bengals have had kicking issues literally all year long, and Joe Burrow is like playing at an MVP level, and they kicked a field goal on third down. I didn't get it. It made zero sense to me. It was the dumbest thing in the world. But yeah, I agree with you. I nearly had a heart attack too. But yeah, Dolphins are in it. I got my shirt. We're ready to go this Sunday. They are one of the 2 4 o'clock games, so that's really nice that I could just have one on the big TV and then one on the little TV. So that's pretty cool for me. And yeah, channel update. Big news. I will be monetized on YouTube here probably sometime next week or the week after, depending on when my application goes through for YouTube. So that's really cool. That was a goal I wanted to hit by the end of the NFL season, and I hit it by the end of the calendar year. So there will be ads on my channels going forward. I am sorry that you have to deal with the ads going forward, guys, but I'll take a little bit of money from YouTube ad revenue, so that's pretty cool. And that doesn't happen without all of you guys. So you guys all rule. Coming here for these live streams, watching my videos, commenting, joining in the chat, liking, doing all that cool stuff. I try to be entertaining and make good videos and good content for you guys, and so because I like doing it, I have fun doing this, and if I get to share it and somebody else enjoys it, that's just added bonus. So the fact that you guys like it and now I can make small amounts of money from doing it is just super cool. So thank you again. You guys all rule, and I apologize for the upcoming ads on my channel. And then the only other thing is, if you haven't already, and if you want to, join the Discord. We have like 5-6 people in there, something like that. It's a good time, just bros talking ball, texting about football. So join Discord if you want to interact with me or other people who watch the channel more regularly. And it's pretty cool. Put the link in the chat. All right, we're getting into it. I put my bets for the day in the chat. I'm really a big fan of the underdogs on this Sunday outside of the Commanders and the Dolphins. And we had a lot of football coming into this, so this is a smaller Sunday slate than it normally is. Because we had 2 games on Christmas. We had the normal Thursday night games. Guess someone's happy about the Broncos and Bengals game? Absolutely. Absolutely I am. That was huge. And now, the thing that's gross, though, is now I have to root for the Chiefs next week against the Broncos. And, that just feels gross, that I have to root for Carson Wentz and the Chiefs. But whatever. But we're getting ahead of ourselves. Dolphins need to beat the Browns today. It is cold and rainy here in Cleveland today, and the Dolphins do not do well with cold and rainy. We'll get to that. We'll get to all that later. There's a big playoff implication Sunday, which I mean it's week 17, so that makes sense. We did have 6 football games leading into this. Both of the Christmas Netflix games were pretty boring. I'm rooting for the Packers right now. Fair. Because if the Packers win, and then the Lions beat the 49ers tomorrow. You guys clinched the North, or is it still up to week 18? I don't know the exact situation with the... Oh, I'm fixing my camera. I don't know the exact situation with the Lions clinching. Okay. I didn't know. What's up, brother? Love the videos. Fins up to everyone in the chat. Thank you for being here, Hammer. Appreciate the support and the love. Okay, yeah, I didn't know. I didn't know the exact clinching scenario for the Lions. I didn't know if like the Vikings lost today, if they still had a chance to, but that makes sense. So, yeah. And even if the Vikings lose and God forbid the Lions lose tomorrow, then it still comes down to week 18, right? Am I interpreting that correctly? Because I know there's something funky going on, like with the Rams. I think if like the Bills beat the Jets, okay, yep. Yeah, I know if like the Bills beat the Jets today, then the Rams clinch for like strength of victory over the Seahawks or something, like their game next. So there's some funky things going on with the playoff clinching stuff. Yeah, so go Pack, go. I understand from your guys' perspective as Lions fans, like you don't like the Packers. I am indifferent to them. I am rooting for the Lions. I want them to win the Super Bowl, but like I don't hate the Packers. All right, so we got the Kansas City Chiefs at the Pittsburgh Steelers, and then we had the Ravens playing in Houston. Both of these games were boring. I liked Kay Adams and Mina Kimes. I wasn't a huge fan of RG3 and Manti Te'o during the Christmas game stuff. What's up, X Delta? I like the crews they had though. JJ Watt and Nate Burleson and Ian Eagle, I thought they were really good, but the games themselves were really boring. Netflix did not buffer ad infinitum during Christmas, and that was a pleasant little surprise. But yeah, both of these games are really boring. It's like the Chiefs are like number 1 in the AFC, and then like 2A, 2B, you can interchange them, are the Ravens and the Bills, and then it's everybody else after that. And so these Christmas games pretty much prove that. I don't think the Steelers are a bad team. I don't think the Texans are a bad team by any means. But they're not in the same league as the Chiefs and the Ravens. And like, that's okay. Like, yeah, I'm a Dolphins fan. I understand that life. Plus playoffs are weird. Anything can happen. The Pittsburgh and Texans could just somehow get hot in the playoffs and make a run. Like those things happen. But yeah, the AFC is pretty clearly a 1 and then 2 and 3 team race based off of the Christmas games. And then we had historically the worst Thursday night football game of all time. No, Steelers defense didn't show up at all in that game, I agree. But their secondary was injured. They lost like Joey Porter Jr. in the first quarter, if I remember correctly, something like that. I don't think Deshaun Elliott, their safety, played. So they got some issues in that secondary, so I'm not going to hold it too much against them. But yeah, and then we had the Seattle Seahawks at the Bears. So I was busy Thursday night. I didn't watch this live, but I didn't check the score. I didn't look at anything. And then when I got home, like Friday mid-morning, Friday afternoon or something like that, I was like, all right, I'm going into this with zero knowledge, and I'm going to watch the recording of the Seahawks and Bears game. And that was the worst mistake of my entire life. I could have gone the rest of my life with not having spent 3 hours watching the worst Thursday night game of all time, but I did. And so that was a big mistake. Is just, oh God, more penalty yards than offensive yards is wild. That was just the worst football game I ever chose to sit through. And I don't know why I did it. No, I did it for the memes. I did it for the content, that's why. Alright, so we'll move on from that one as fast as possible. The Chargers absolutely buried the Patriots. It sucked because I was rooting for the Patriots, but Justin Herbert had a good day. The Chargers offense had a good day. Ladd McConkey and J.K. Dobbins make a big difference for that team, shockingly. And then we had all the Herbert stands on Twitter who show up after one of his like 4 or 5 good games throughout the course of the year and see Herbert's just on the same level with Josh Allen and Patrick Mahomes. No. Like, here's my thing with Justin Herbert. I put him in the same category as Tua. Good quarterbacks, not great quarterbacks. Patrick Mahomes, Josh Allen, Lamar Jackson, Joe Burrow, I put in that list.
those four guys are kind of like leaps and bounds more than everybody else. But like Justin Herbert's like right in that like next range. Like that's where I put Tua. That's where I put like Stafford. And not old Stafford. Stafford in his prime was great, but current Stafford and like Jared Goff, like that, Jalen Hurts, like that's not a bad place to be, you know, like. But like Herbert stands will tell you like Justin Herbert's like as good as like Patrick Mahomes or Josh Allen, and it drives me absolutely insane. The stupidest and most fun game of the Saturday was the Denver Broncos at the Cincinnati Bengals. Myself as a Dolphins fan, Kai Nurkel in the chat also as a Dolphins fan, we were very happy to see this result. The Bengals tried their best to lose that game on like 8 different occasions last night, and it was the most insane thing I've ever seen. I've never seen a team that's just like, okay, we're doing everything right to win the game, but how do we screw it up terribly? Kicking the ball on 3rd down in overtime when you've had kicking issues all year long it made 0 sense to me. Doink, yeah. Chase Brown, like I get the whole you don't want to score late because you don't want to give the other team enough time. Like I actually said, I thought, are the Fins the 2010 Bengals? I don't really remember the 2010 Bengals that much, if we're being totally honest. It's been a long time, and throw me some facts about the 2010 Bengals in the chat while I go on, and let me know. I will either confirm or deny if the Fins are the 2010 Bengals. And yeah, so this was one of the most wild games I've ever seen. What was I talking about? Chase Brown going down the 1 yard line. I get not scoring the touchdown because you don't want to give your the other opponent more time or whatever to also score, which did happen. But don't run the ball. Just take a knee and then kick the field goal, or take a knee and then try to score a touchdown on 3rd down or something like that and run out the clock that way. Chase Brown sliding to go down at the 1 yard line and then hurting himself was the most insane thing I've ever seen. And then the whole overtime fiasco with kicking on 3rd down. But with all that being said, the Broncos are actually a pretty good football team. I put them in the not quite Pittsburgh or Houston category, but just a little bit below Houston, Pittsburgh category in my opinion. A good team, but they're not gonna do much in the playoffs. But I think they're gonna be fine next year with another year with Bo Nix and Sean Payton, and the defense will probably get better. So I like the Broncos. I don't think this year's not their year. Sorry, Brendan Perna, but I think Perna also knows that. But they're gonna be good next year, the year after, unless Bo Nix takes a huge regression, which I don't think he will. So good for the Broncos. They've earned it, but I still want the Chiefs to beat them next week. Great in the regular season, no playoff wins with Andy Dalton. Oh, you meant the entire decade of the 2010 Bengals. Yeah, I think that's pretty fair. I think that's pretty accurate. I think Tua is a little bit better than Andy Dalton, but people will probably tell me I'm wrong there. But yeah, I think the Dolphins are a fair representation of the 2010s Bengals. I agree with you on that one. Okay, so we went through the Bengals and the Broncos, and then this was the most boring game I've ever seen. Good God, I fell asleep on the couch minutes before y'all are starting the Red Rifle. Is Tua the Red Rifle, man? Oh, man. That hurts. That hurts to know if you guys think Tua's in Andy Dalton. I might just be a delusional fan, but good God, I hope Tua's better than the Red Rifle. This game was boring. It's just so boring. Trey McBride got his first touchdown of the year, though. I was very excited. If you follow me on Twitter, you know how excited I was about Trey McBride. Trey McBride rules. He is one of the best tight ends in the NFL, and he doesn't score touchdowns, and it's insane. And I hate that thought because I agree. I really like Tua. My biggest issue with Tua is the man cannot stay healthy and he kind of chokes in big games. But I like Tua too. I'm a Tua stan. Yeah, this game was boring. I don't want to talk about it anymore. Kyler Murray throwing the football off Trey McBride's helmet to lose the game at the goal line was one of the funniest ways I've seen a team lose a game. So keep an eye out for the top 5 worst plays this week because that one's going to be on it. I don't know where it's going to be on it. We'll see how this Sunday goes, but it will be on it somewhere. All right. First up, we have the New York Jets at the Buffalo Bills. The Bills are 10-point favorites. I took the Jets plus 10. They're also plus 10 on DraftKings as they are on ESPN. Here's my thing is like the Jets suck. The Jets will always suck. I hate them. They're my least favorite team in the NFL. But for some reason, the Bills have issues with like the Jets and the Patriots. They kick the crap out of the Dolphins twice a year, but the Jets and Patriots give the Bills fits, and I don't get it. And the Jets aren't going to win this game, but I think they keep it close. I think they cover plus 10. Like, honestly, they're still bad. They're still incompetent, but they have been playing, like, better football recently. I mean, to be fair, they've been playing, like, not good teams outside of the Rams. Like, so the Jets have been playing better, and I think they keep it close within 10 points of the Bills. The Bills have some issues on defense with a lot of injuries. Taylor Rapp, Damar Hamlin, Cam Lewis. Like, those are some big-time players in the Bills secondary. So, I don't know. I think the Jets score some points. I think they keep it close. But the Bills still win. The Bills already clinched the AFC East. I think. Is no one pulling starters now that they're eliminated? I don't think so. At least the games like the Cardinals are eliminated. They didn't pull anybody. The Bears are eliminated. They didn't pull anybody. The Patriots didn't pull anybody. I don't know. I feel like it's one of those things you just want to see like what you have with like players or whatever. So like, and players are also playing for their next contract. So it's like, I don't know. I think even the eliminated teams still play. And also it's fun if you're playing like a division rival like the Jets or the Cardinals are. Like you want to hurt your division rival. Yeah, this could be closer than some people. Yeah, I agree. I think the Bills are the second best team in the AFC behind the Chiefs. I've been a while. You guys bullied me in taking Chiefs number 1 off my power rankings, but they're going back at number 1 this week. I don't care. The Chiefs are probably going to three-peat, and it's going to hurt, and we're all going to be sad about it. But the Bills are number 2 in the AFC, and in my opinion. And I'm trying to see where standings. There we go. Like, did they already wrap up the 2 seed in the playoffs? Because I think I think the AFC North can still get it. Yeah, I think if the Bills lose their last 2 games, which they're not going to, they're playing the Jets and the Patriots, and the Ravens win their last 2. I think the Ravens can get the number 2 seed. But yeah, the Bills have, in essence, wrapped up the second seed. So they're the second best. Like, it's really these 3 teams and then everybody else. But yeah, it's the Bills. They're going to keep it close because the Jets always give them fits, but they're still going to win this game because they are, as much as it hurts me to say it, a very good football team. So yeah, I think they keep it close. Josh Allen's probably going to have a good day against the Jets' bad defense, which the fallout from the Jets' defense needs to be studied because they fired Robert Saleh and then that defense started sucking horribly. And it's like, well, maybe Robert Saleh was a good defense coach. Not a good head coach by any means, but like he knew what he was doing with the defense. And the Bills' defense is injured and not good. So I expect this to be a decently high-scoring game. Like, Rodgers and the Jets' offense haven't been playing too bad recently. So I think the over hits, and I think the Jets cover plus 10. And it's, like, actually decent weather in Buffalo. It's, like, 55 degrees. It's raining, but it's not very windy. And so that's good for offensive football. So, yeah, this one, Jets cover plus 10, and the Bills win overall, though. All right, next up, woof, we got the Toilet Bowl. We got the Las Vegas Raiders at the New Orleans Saints. The Raiders are 2-point favorites. I don't know. Doesn't make sense to me if your position is set. I feel like we brought Teddy Bridgewater back just as if we couldn't this week. I don't know. It's weird. I mean, like, if you clinched, like, the playoffs or whatever, like, if you're the Chiefs, I think you play your starters for, like, a half so they don't get too rusty, and then you take them out so, like, you know, you're still healthy and fine for the playoffs. But I think not playing, like, for 21 days, that's a lot of time to not play football and get rusty. They fired him without a good reason, not that I mind him. I want him as DC for the Finns. I do, too. I would be ecstatic if Robert Saleh was DC for the Finns. Because I'm expecting Mike McDaniel to come back next year. Although I like Anthony Weaver. I think Anthony Weaver's a good coach, but the defense is just so soft. They need somebody to instill toughness, and I think Saleh will at least do that from the defensive side of the ball. He might stay in Green Bay, though, as like an assistant coach or something. Okay, so back to the most boring game of the Raiders versus the Saints. I think the Raiders win this solely because I like Aiden O'Connell. There's a lot of things going wrong in Las Vegas. A lot of things. I think Aiden O'Connell is a decent quarterback. I don't think he's a very good quarterback, but like he's not bad. Is he like Patrick Mahomes? No. Like is he Tua, Justin? No. But like I like Aiden O'Connell. Man, what is these team's draft position right now? No, I don't think so. I think if the Giants win and the Raiders lose, then the Raiders go back to the number 1 pick. But as long as the Giants keep on losing out, to my knowledge, they still have the number 1 overall pick. So the Raiders really screwed themselves last week by beating the Jaguars. But like, I don't know. I don't think tanking works in the NFL. Just like to me, it's like Caleb Williams was the slam dunk number 1 overall pick. And Jaden Daniels is hands down the best rookie quarterback this season. And then, Weaver's fine. Saleh is just better. Also, Rizzi will win. Fair. I can agree with all of those statements. But yeah, I don't know. Tanking, to me, it just doesn't really work in the NFL. Because like I said, Jaden Daniels looks like the best rookie quarterback. Last year, C.J. Stroud looked leaps and bounds better than Bryce Young, but this year, Bryce Young actually looks like a better quarterback than C.J. Stroud. So it's like you never really know how your quarterback's going to shake out until 5 to 6 years down the road. Like, it's a long process, and so, I mean, Kirk Cousins was like a 3rd-round pick. Kirk Cousins has his issues, but he was better. He had a longer and more successful career than the 1st-round picks of Robert Griffin III, Ryan Tannehill, Brandon Weeden. I would argue Kirk Cousins had a longer career than Andrew Luck in that draft. I would consider Andrew Luck's more successful. Tanking doesn't work when you have a bad team. Yeah. I would 100% agree with you. So yeah, I don't know. I don't get the whole tanking thing. So I think the Raiders should win. And yeah, I think the Raiders win. I wouldn't be at all shocked if the Saints win. I just think Brock Bowers is incredible, generational, good tight end. And Aiden O'Connell is not that bad of a quarterback, and those two people are better than everything the Saints have going on their side of the football. And that is pretty much my whole thought, is it's Brock Bowers and Aiden O'Connell versus the world in this game. I'm gonna throw this one on one of my TVs for the lulz, honestly. Like, it's gonna be a bad game, guys. Like, it's gonna be so bad. But I'm gonna watch it because I'm a sicko and I love football. But yeah, this is the worst game of the Sunday. Alright, what do we got next? Okay, this is the second worst game of Sunday. No, third. I forgot about this one. We got the Colts at the Giants. The Colts still have a shot of making the playoffs. So the Bears and Jets are the biggest example of the draft picks in the world. Don't make up for bad GM and coaching 100%. And then you have the Lions, who didn't really have the Lions had a normal amount of draft picks, but they didn't tank or do anything like that. But when you have an incredible coach who works really well with a very good GM, I can't remember the Lions GM to save my name, but I have nothing but respect for that guy. Like, yeah, when you have a good coach and a good GM who work well together, like, you can build an incredible team without tanking. And the Lions didn't tank. The Lions just sucked forever. Brad Holmes, thank you, Brad Holmes. Yeah, so it's, and same deal, the Chiefs, they didn't tank, and they had one of the best dynasties of all time. The Chiefs have a good dynasty going. The 2000s and 2010 Patriots, they never tanked. So I don't think tanking is a strategy to win, in my opinion. So I don't get it. All right, back to this game. Speaking of tanking, the Giants currently have the number 1 overall pick in the draft. So they got that going for them. That's pretty much the only thing they have going for them. The Colts are a very weird team. Anthony Richardson is a very weird quarterback. He is not playing today. This will also be nice, but the Giants are the Giants. Yeah, I think the Colts, honestly, like, I think Joe Flacco is just going to hand the ball off to Jonathan Taylor like a million times. Yeah, exactly. Like, it's just, teams get lucky. They got Tom Brady and Patrick Mahomes. Tom Brady, 6th-round draft pick who wasn't that good at Michigan, somehow, some way becomes the greatest quarterback of all time. Patrick Mahomes, Texas Tech, raw, mega talented guy, got good coaching and good... Yeah, like I said, tanking's stupid. The Giants are stupid for tanking. And so are the Raiders. All teams that tank are stupid. That's my final opinion on it. So this one is... The Colts are going to win. Like, Jonathan Taylor's going to run for like 300 yards and it's going to be insane, and Joe Flacco's going to throw the ball like 5 times. Anthony Richardson apparently isn't playing because he has cramping. Between taking himself out of a game earlier this year, I think it was against the Texans, if I remember correctly. There was a game earlier this year where he took a game out, but like, I guess he has cramping and he's really sore and soreness. Like, I don't know, man. Josh Allen's playing through like a broken hand. Guys like Joe Burrow and Patrick Mahomes get beat up all the time and play through it. Like, Lamar plays through injuries all the time. Yeah, Joe Flacco to the rescue. I don't know. If you can't play through like soreness and cramping, like, bruh, that's some soft stuff right there. Yeah, but the Colts are 7.5-point favorites. I didn't bet this game because Joe Flacco is elite. I didn't bet this game because I don't think the Colts win by 7.5, but like, I also could see the Giants getting blown out because they're the Giants. Yeah, like, I don't know, not missing the game because you're cramping and sore while you're trying to make the playoffs, taking a game because you're tired and you ran to, I don't know, man, that's just some, I don't respect that move from Anthony Richardson personally. Other than that, the Colts defense is actually pretty good. I like Kwity Paye, DeForest Buckner. What's the guy that punched Sam Darnold in the face in the Sunday night game a few weeks ago? What's this guy's name? I'll see. Grover Stewart. They have a lot of talent on that defensive line. I feel like that's... Yeah, Mahomes won a Super Bowl with an injury. Like I said, Josh Allen's been playing with a broken hand. Tua, despite being injury prone, plays through a lot of injuries. So does Joe Burrow. Justin Herbert plays through a lot. Like, Jalen Hurts plays through... Jalen Hurts wanted to go back in the game with concussion last week. If they would have allowed Jalen Hurts to go back in the game with concussion, he would have done it. So, like, I don't know. I don't like that from Anthony Richardson. And, like, I get it. It's your body. You don't want to, like, you make money the longer you play in the NFL. Like, I get it, but, like, you're a quarterback. Play through the injuries and play through the toughness. Don't be a wimp. I say that here in my comfy apartment and office. Malik Neighbors may or may not play. Him and Tyrone Tracy Jr. are pretty much the only thing going for the Giants offense. I don't know. I think Jonathan Taylor's going to get 250 yards and like 2 touchdowns, and then there's going to be like 2 defensive scores from the Colts defense, and the Colts are probably going to win like 35 to like 10 or something like that. I think that's probably how this game is going to go. Yeah, this one's going to be boring. I'm going to watch it though because I'm a sicko. I'm a sicko who loves football.
All right, next up, we have the Dallas Cowboys at the Philadelphia Eagles. I don't think Jalen Hurts is out. He's still out with a concussion. So we're going to have Kenny Baby Hands Pickett's Part 2. I think the Cowboys straight up win this game. I think the Cowboys hate their fans. The Cowboys have been playing pretty good football over the past couple weeks. They blew out the Panthers, which it's Panthers, whatever. They played well. They beat the Bucks. They played well and kept it close against the Bengals. I mean, they're 4-1 over their last 5 with Cooper Rush. So I think without Jalen Hurts, the way this Cowboys team has been playing better as of late, I think they beat the Eagles. And I think Mike McCarthy does enough to save his job, and because the Cowboys hate their fans, he's going to get re-signed. Yeah. I have no issue with the Eagles, personally. I have issue with the Eagles. I don't like Nick Sirianni. I think he's a clown. But I like Saquon. I like A.J. Brown. I like Jalen Hurts. I like a lot of Eagles players, but I hate Nick Sirianni with a passion. And the Cowboys hate them as well. And so they're going to win this game. They're going to get to 500. They're probably going to win next week and end up being like 9-8 for a year. And that's going to be enough for Jerry Jones to not fire Mike McCarthy. And they're going to have another season next year where, one, either Dak gets hurt and they miss the playoffs, or they make the playoffs with Dak. And then because he has the yips in the playoffs, which blows my mind, they're going to miss it. And so it's going to be the same old for the Cowboys again next year, because they're going to beat the Eagles today. They're going to make all their fans really sad because they're going to bring Mike McCarthy back. Battle of the backup quarterbacks in this one. Saquon is very close to getting 2,000 yards. The Cowboys' rush defense was really bad at the beginning of the year, if I remember correctly, but I think it's been playing a lot better as of late, so let's see. Defensive stats. Rushing yards per game. Cowboys. Okay. So they're still in the bottom 6-10 of teams. Okay. Jesus, the Panthers give up 175 rush. That's insanity. Okay. So I think Saquon gets the record and gets 2,000 yards in this game. I forget what the overall yards from scrimmage record is that he's going for, but I'm sure ESPN probably has something like that. Can Saquon break the single season rushing record? How much does he need? Okay, he needs 2,105 yards. He has 1,838, so he needs quick maths. 200. Hello. Thank you for joining. You're seeing my math skills on display here. 267 in this before the 2 weeks. So I don't like comparing stats before the season moved to 17 games back when it was 16. So if he gets 267 or whatever yards in this game, then he officially breaks Eric Dickerson's record, which is really cool, even doing it before the 18th game. So I don't think he gets 267 yards. I think he probably gets 160-ish and gets to 2,000, so that's really cool. I love seeing a 2,000-yard rusher. So that's what we're keeping an eye out on in this one. Saquon's going to get the record, and the Cowboys are going to win this game outright. All right, what do we got next? We have the second worst game. Oh, no, sorry. Got a little ahead of myself. The Carolina Panthers are going to the Tampa Bay Buccaneers because the Bucs lost last week against the Cowboys on that Sunday night game. The Falcons now officially have control over the NFC South, and the NFC South is once again the worst division in all of football. And it makes me upset that they have a home game, but it is what it is. I can't complain. The Panthers are still bad, but they have been playing better. I feel like I say this every week with the Panthers. Bryce Young looks good. They beat the Cardinals last week in overtime.
The issue with the Panthers is not their offense. The issue with the Panthers is their defense is horrendously bad. Like when we were looking at the Cowboys' rushing stats, 175 rushing yards per game your defense gives up. That's bad. I have to root for the Panthers today. I have no choice. I respect that. I am also sort of rooting for the Panthers. I kind of want the Bucs to win the NFC South. No offense. It's nothing against the Falcons. I just like Baker Mayfield. Are you asking me why, or are you asking Danielle why? But I kind of want the Bucs to win, but I do think the Panthers cover plus 9.5. But I just like Baker. I think he got a raw deal in Cleveland, and I want him to be successful just despite the Browns ownership. Not despite the Browns fans, though. Browns fans deserve better. Browns fans deserve Baker staying in Cleveland and being successful in Cleveland. But yeah, both of these defenses are not super great, and both of them have pretty good offenses. The issue with... But I think both Falcons fans and Panthers fans want the Panthers to win, and we can both clinch. Fair. That's fair. I don't hate that. Yeah, the big issue with why I think the Panthers probably don't end up winning. I think they cover. I don't think they end up winning. Chuba Hubbard has officially been put on IR. He's been having a phenomenal season. I don't know who their other running back is, but he was a big part of their offense outside of Bryce Young, honestly. Xavier Legette is also hurt. Now, the thing is, Panthers have a very good offensive line. They block really well. They can run block really well. Win Packers over Vikings. Yeah, a lot of you and the Lions fans are rooting for the Packers today. So I think the Panthers keep it close because they did it last week. But I think the Bucs get the win at home. Bucky Irving will probably have a big day. We need 200 more yards from Mike Evans to get to 1,000 for the year to keep his streak going. And yeah, Panthers snapped a 4-game losing streak, and the Bucs snapped a 4-game win streak. I think they both flip-flop. Panthers get back in the loss column, and the Bucs get back in the win column. But Panthers aren't that bad. They're moving in the right direction. I think they keep it close. Packers going to win. We'll get to that game in a little bit. I am very excited about that game. I want to watch it. Next up, we have the Tennessee Titans at the Jacksonville Jaguars. This is outside of the Las Vegas and the Saints. This is taking the competition for worst game on Sunday. Yeah, Mason Rudolph is starting over my king, my hero, the Mayo Man, Will Levis. No, he's not playing. He's got bench. We're getting stupid Mason Rudolph again because it's stupid. And the Jaguars are 1-point favorites, which is shocking. But yeah, so we're going to get Mason Rudolph versus McCorkle Jones, and damn. And we're all going to hate ourselves for watching this game because it's going to suck. It's going to suck real bad. And that's just how Jacksonville Jaguars games go. They are just not fun to watch. Tony Pollard isn't playing either for the Titans, so that's kind of a bummer. Honestly, it's just like good receiver on bad team with Calvin Ridley and Brian Thomas Jr. Like, I feel so bad for both of these guys that they have to play for their football teams that they're on and catch passes from the quarterbacks that they catch passes from. I don't know what to do this with them. I think either team will probably win. I don't have hard feelings. They're just both so bad. Yeah, this is the toilet bowl part 2. I noticed the benching helped Bryce Young and Anthony Richardson, so I wonder if we'll do the same for Levis. Honestly, it might. It definitely really, really helped Bryce Young. And I think Bryce was just losing confidence. And I don't think, from an outside perspective, I really don't know what actually happened or actually went on. But from what I could tell from the Panthers situation, Dave Canales is just like, you see him a little overwhelmed. You see him there's a lot of things going on. And so he was like, just take a breather. Just sit down for a little bit. So I think that's probably why. Titans Jags can trade war stories. Lions score 52 on both of them. Well, I remember that Titans game where the Lions scored 50 plus points and they had only 250 yards of offense because of turnovers and special teams plays. It was absolutely insane. I'm rooting for Will Levis. His memes must live on. I agree. The Mayo King memes were the best part of my life for the first 6 weeks of the season. It really, during Tua's injury and the Dolphins not playing well with their backups, quarterbacks, it really kept me going and made me a football fan. The Titans don't deserve to win without our Lord and Savior Mayo got under center. I agree. I am with you. I love the fact that we're all big Will Levis fans here, just because the memes, man. The memes are incredible. To Grossi, to Tom Grossi. Is Tom Grossi in the chat? If so, hi Tom. I doubt you're watching my stream, but if you are, hello. Appreciate it. Thank you for your support. I don't want to watch this game. I don't want to talk about this game anymore. Either team will win, and I don't want to do it anymore. Agreed. Mayo game day be delicious. All right. Next up, we have the Dolphins at the Browns. This is one of the 2 4:00 games. It is currently rainy and cold here in Cleveland, and this game is going to suck. Tua is doubtful. Jameis Winston is not playing. Oh, it's not cold. It's only 60 degrees outside right now. Let's go. Tyreek Hill is questionable. So is Jalen Waddle. The Dolphins, once again, injured to all hell by the end of the season because we have a GM that likes to pick injury-prone players that he thinks he can get as a discount, and Chris Greer doesn't know what he's doing, and it makes me sad. And I love Tua, but he's injury-prone, and it makes me sad. I think Hill was always questionable. Yeah. Do you even really want to go to the playoffs? Ouch. It's an actual quote from Will Levis. I do love that quote from Will Levis. Mayo game day be delicious. Do I really want to go to the playoffs? That is a good question. Yes. But I am scared. Here's my thing. I started being a Dolphins fan when I was 5 years old in 1999 when I watched Dan Marino play on Monday Night Football, and then me and my brother, this is story time. We're going long story time right now. So I watched Dan Marino play on Monday Night Football in 1999, and then I got NFL Blitz, and I played with the Dolphins and played with Dan Marino, and so that was when I started being a Dolphins fan. And so from 1999 to now, I have witnessed 1 playoff victory. I have witnessed 2 playoff appearances from like 2002 to like 2020. Falcons, I'm not sure if we go to the playoffs, really. Yeah. I witnessed 2 playoff appearances, 1 in 2008, 1 in 2018. They have made the playoffs 2 years in a row. That has never happened in my entire lifetime of being a Dolphins fan. So I want to see the Dolphins make the playoffs because I didn't get to watch them make a lot of playoffs all throughout my life and all throughout being a Dolphins fan. And I agree with Kai that we're going to get crushed by the Bills, but you know what? At least I get to watch them get crushed by the Bills for a 3rd time this season rather than just 2 times. And so, yes, I've decided I want the Dolphins to make the playoffs. The Dolphins are going to win this game. Tua's going to play with a hip injury. Even if he doesn't play with a hip injury, there's no way the Dolphins' backup quarterback situation is as bad as DTR and the Browns without Jameis. So we still got Achane. We still got Jonnu Smith, who's having the best season of any Dolphins tight end ever. Shout out Jonnu. What a free agent signing. Chris Greer has screwed a lot of things up this offseason, but Jonnu Smith was not one of them. That was a very good signing. Dolphins are 3.5-point favorites on DraftKings. They are 3-point favorites on ESPN. I swear if Tyler Huntley touches the ball again, who is their back? I don't even know who the Dolphins' backup quarterback is right now. I think it is Snoop. I think it's Snoop Huntley who's still the backup. Yeah. Oh, God. We have Skylar Thompson as the 3rd string. I thought we cut Skylar. Why is he back? What's the remainder of the Finns schedule after the Browns? Because they play the Jets next week, so they can beat the Jets. Like these are both, the Browns and the Jets are both very winnable games. Dude, my family, they're all big Browns fans. We were talking about that yesterday when we were doing some like family Christmas stuff. Um, yeah, they're just like, I can't believe they're bringing Deshaun Watson back there. Yeah, they cut Skylar. I thought they cut Skylar, but I could be wrong. Yeah, but Dolphins are winning this game. Tua's going to play. He's going to throw like 5 touchdowns. It's going to be lit because it's not cold. 60 degrees. It's rainy here, but it's fine. Dolphins are going to win this game, and they're not going to make me sad on Christmas and New Year's. They only make me sad one time a year on a national holiday. They already did that Thanksgiving, so they can't do it again. And that for those reasons, the Dolphins are going to win. I want them to make the playoffs. I don't care. I want to see more Dolphins football, even if it breaks my heart, because heartbreaking Dolphins football is better than no Dolphins football. Didn't find it on the active roster on the app. Okay. ESPN might be like messed up with their depth chart or whatever, but I can check later as well. All right, this is definitely the game of the week. We have the Packers taking on the Vikings. No, I agree. If the Dolphins don't make the playoffs and don't get the 7th seed, I want the Bengals to make the playoffs and get the 7th seed. They're fun. Joe Burrow is incredible. And I think genuinely they are the only AFC team that can take down both the Chiefs and the Bills, even though their defense is horrendous. So yeah, I want the Bengals to get the 7th seed in the AFC because I don't trust playoff Lamar and the Ravens. I don't trust them. All right, yeah, we got the Packers and the Vikings. Go Pack Go for the Lions fans in my chat and the Packers fan in my chat. I am also rooting for the Packers simply because I want the Lions to get the 1 seed and win the Super Bowl. With that being said, nothing personal against the Vikings. I really like Kevin O'Connell. I really like Sam Darnold and what he's doing this year. But I do think the Packers go into Minnesota and win. I'm pretty sure I bet on the Packers +1. The Packers are just doing this thing that they did last year where it's like they were kind of mediocre, fine, throughout the course of the year. They kind of snuck by and got some wins. And then once late November and December hit, they just turned it on. Dude, the Packers are a very good football team. Their offensive line is so freaking good. Like, they just maul people. And then on the defensive line, same deal. They're really good. And like Jordan Love has stopped throwing they split like the last first season series. Yeah. And I'm pretty sure the Vikings won the first one. So I think the Vikings won in Green Bay earlier this year. And so I think the Packers are going to get it in Minnesota. But this is going to be a really fun game. This is like good offense versus good defense and good offense versus good defense. Like the Packers and the Vikings are very similar teams. KOC versus MCDC Coach of the Year. I agree with you. It's got to be between Man Campbell and KOC. I think KOC's probably going to win it, but just because like what he did with Sam Darnold. But you never know. We need rest on our end. Yeah, I agree with you. The first round bye for the Lions will be huge for them. I bet the Packers in this one. I think the Packers win. I hope Christian Watson plays for them. Jim Harbaugh too. Yeah, Jim Harbaugh's going to need to win a playoff game in order for him to get Coach of the Year. Because, I mean, but to be fair, he did turn that defense around. Like, yeah, I can see Jim Harbaugh getting Coach of the Year. That's fair. Yeah, this is going to be a fun one. This is going to be a real good time. I'm putting it on the small TV while the Dolphins-Brown game is on my big TV. I don't care what you guys say. You can hate on me for that all you want. But, yeah, I think the Packers win because of the split. But it's going to be fun. LaFleur versus Flores, and then KOC versus the Packers defensive coordinator who's really good, whose name I can't remember off the top of my head. There's just two really good teams, both with a good offense and good defense, playing against each other. This is like the polar opposite of the Titans versus Jaguars. His record is a bit mid this year, and Herbert not playing well is on him. That's fair. those are fair points. Yeah. If Mike somehow drags it. My issue with Mike, I'm going on my Mike McDaniel rant here for a second. My issue with Mike is he believed in Skylar Thompson too much. And the fact that he believed in Skylar Thompson too much, and we didn't have a real backup quarterback for Tua, a man with a long history of injuries, that's on Mike McDaniel. And so that's my issue with Mike not getting Coach of the Year. Also, the man cannot figure out short yardage to save his life, and it drives me absolutely insane. Otherwise, I'm a big Mike McDaniel fan, and I agree. If he somehow drags us to the playoffs, he deserves recognition and award. But he does not deserve Coach of the Year because of the backup quarterback and the short yardage, and that's my Mike McDaniel rant. Tannehill would have been better than Skylar Thompson or Snoop Huntley, honestly. But like they could have got Marcus Mariota, Jimmy Garoppolo. Like there were a lot of options other than Skylar Thompson and Snoop Huntley for backup quarterbacks. So yeah, I didn't understand. Nick Mullins comes to mind. So yeah, here's the thing. Mike McDaniel loves all his players. He thinks everybody can do and achieve big things, and he doesn't know when to give up on a player that's really not that good. And so he just has been refusing to give up on Skylar Thompson as backup quarterback for the past 4 years, 5 years, whatever it is now. And that's really all it came down to. And that's why Liam Eichenberg, one of the worst offensive guards in football, who has been playing... That's my big gripe with Mike. He doesn't give up on players, and sometimes he should. So yeah, that's the whole issue with the backup quarterback situation. All right. When does Mayo God become a free agent again? Is it 2027? I could see the Mayo God probably getting cut this offseason, so 2025. But yeah, if he doesn't get cut, then probably it'll be 2027 because he was drafted first round last year for a 4-year deal is usually what they get. We need him. I'd take Will Levis as a backup quarterback, and that's fine. Like I'm totally fine with Will Levis. Just get rid of Skylar Thompson and Snoop Huntley. I can't deal with those two anymore. All right, we got the Falcons at the Commanders. The Falcons are 8-7. We'll make him the next Allen, dude. Honestly, hey, if they can do that, that'd be great. The Falcons are 8-7. The Commanders are 10-5. This is in Washington. This is our Sunday night game. With the Bucs losing last week, the Falcons officially control the NFC South. The Commanders have all but clinched a playoff spot at this point. They still need either to win tonight or have a couple other teams lose. Penix versus the Hogs. I love the fact that you put Penix versus the Hogs in the chat. That is one of the greatest things I've ever read. Last week, Michael Penix Jr., he was fine. First start in an NFL game. He didn't do anything crazy bad. He had some good throws. He didn't do anything that was like, I was like, oh wow, this guy's incredible. But like, first start for a rookie quarterback, I don't think you're going to be mad with how Michael Penix Jr. played last week. You are going to be mad that Kyle Pitts just gave up his first interception straight to the Giants for absolutely no reason, but that's not on him. I honestly think the Colts and Titans should wait a year. They don't have a top pick, and they should let their QBs have another year. I agree. I think you got to give guys more time. Although Will Levis is a guy that like cares and wants to win and plays through injuries and is like, does that stuff. My issue with Anthony Richardson is he's kind of soft and doesn't care about the team. Hot take, Kyle is a bust so far. I don't think that's a hot take, man. I think that is a very I think a lot of people will agree with you on Kyle Pitts being a bust. But who isn't a bust is Bijan Robinson and Drake London. I think both of those guys are phenomenal. Darnell Mooney's really good for the Falcons. And then, for the Colts, I think they should just give Sam Darnold all the money. That's probably not the worst idea in the world, honestly. I think Shane Steichen's a pretty good coach. So, give Sam Darnold all the money and let AR sit. Yeah, I could get behind. I think that's honestly a smart move. the Commanders, Jaden Daniels, he is back into full Jaden Daniels Offensive Rookie of the Year form after a bit of a rough one. Sorry, Falcons fan, Daniel Balzer. I'm sorry if I'm pronouncing your name wrong. Just let me know. I think the Falcons lose. Vikings can't afford Donald up against Cap. Yeah, and they have J.J. McCarthy, who I think is going to be a very good quarterback in the NFL. But yeah, I think the Commanders win this one pretty easily. I don't think the Falcons' defense is very good, and they benefited from playing the Giants last week. I think their offense will put up some points, but I think this one's going to be a shootout that the Commanders win and cover. I believe I took them -3.5. I did, and it was a smart bet on my part. Very proud of myself. Malik can be undefeated this season. Oh, so true. Malik Willis being undefeated is just one of the funniest things I've ever seen. So yeah, Commanders win, and then it's going to be back to the Bucs for control of the NFC South, the worst division in football. All right, and then last but not least, we have the Monday Night Football game. We have the Lions going out to Santa Clara to take on the 6-9 49ers. I think the Lions win this game. Both teams are injured to all hell, but the Lions are much better than the 49ers. And really, the Lions' defense is the only thing that's injured. Their offense is relatively fine outside of David Montgomery's injury, but they still have Jahmyr Gibbs. And Jahmyr Gibbs is phenomenal. Sonic does just fine without Knuckles. He's better with Knuckles, but Sonic is fine without him, based off of all the video games I played as a child. Yeah, I think the Lions win this pretty handily, -3.5. I don't... Supersonic? Absolutely. The 49ers are just not a good football team this year. I mean, they lost to the Dolphins pretty handily last week. I still think George Kittle, I want to see him get 1,000 yards. The 6-9ers lose, revenge for the NFC Championship game. Yeah. And the Lions are 7-0 on the road. That's insane. The 49ers are 4-4 at home. Yeah, I think that the 49ers are just kind of packing it in at this point. Seeing what they got with some young players. They're on like their 5th string running back, so that's kind of wild. Jared Goff and the offense are playing incredible. Yeah, I think the Lions win this, and then if the Packers beat the Vikings, they're going to clinch the NFC North in the 1 seed. So, way to go, Lions fans. That's pretty sweet. Good for you guys. Here's the thing is why I like Lions fans and why I'm rooting for the Lions. I root for a team that sucks, and I like when teams that have sucked for a long time, like the Lions, start doing good and big things. So, we're rooting for the Lions. We want them to win. We want to get the 1 seed. And I think they do. I just think the 49ers aren't that good. Hope that's the case. We don't need any more IR on either team. I agree with you. Yeah, both these teams are just absolutely beat up with injuries, and it's insane. Yeah, trying to think what else I got. Go Pack, go. I don't have much else on this game, but go Lions. It's deserved, and we need to appreciate them for their field goals. Yeah. The Lions are like what the Chiefs were in like 2018, 2019 range, where it's like, oh, we love this young, pucky upstart, and now we just all hate the Chiefs. So enjoy it while it lasts, Lions fans, because if you continue to be good and you continue to like maybe win a Super Bowl and continue to win Super Bowls, we will all turn against you eventually. So enjoy it now while we're all still on your side. All right, that's all I got, guys. If you haven't already, join the Discord if you want to interact and talk with me more. The only other team like the Lions or the Bengals. I agree. Yeah, the Bengals are in that same vein as well. Join the Discord and check out some merch. Like I was saying earlier, I'm monetized within the next week or two, so I apologize for the upcoming ads on my channel. And yeah, that's all I got for you guys. So we got like 3 minutes left in the stream. What questions do you have for me? You could do personal. You could do football related, whatever you want. Hit me with them in these last 3 minutes. See you later, Benny. Or if you got nothing, we got nothing. We could just end the stream early. But yeah, it's this one ran a little bit shorter. What are your thoughts on Cleo Lemon's career? It's okay. You could be sympathetic to the Bills. I'd be sympathetic to the Bills if I wasn't a Dolphins fan, so that's totally fine. thoughts on Cleo Lemon's career? Well, he did play football. He was a quarterback in the NFL. Cleo Lemon played professional football for the Miami Dolphins. And those are my thoughts on Cleo Lemon's career. What's for lunch? I don't know yet. I might get B-dubs, but I might get something healthy. There's a Beyond Eatery, which is like a salad and like wrap and like smoothie place, like right below my building. So I might, if I do healthy, I'm gonna get a salad and a smoothie from Beyond. If I do unhealthy, I'm gonna get B-dubs. So we'll see. It's between those two. I'll let you know. The 4 Super Bowls makes anyone feel bad for the Bills. Yeah, like I said, here's my thing with the Bills. If I wasn't a Dolphins fan, I would love the Bills like the same vein that like I love the Lions, where it's like a sad team that hasn't won anything, and they finally started to play really good. Josh Allen is just very fun to watch play football. Random German word, I love it. Bye. Oh, I was ecstatic with the wide right last year. That was one of the main. Trust me, I was so happy. I really was. Listen, it's just all purely personal. The Bills hurt me twice a year, and they've been hurting me twice a year since 2019, and it hurts. All right, it really just sucks because I just know that the Dolphins are never going to win the AFC East. They're never going to beat the Bills and win, and the Bills hurt me. And so that's why I hate the Bills, because they personally scorned me. If they didn't personally scorn me, I'd have nothing against them. So those are my thoughts on the Bills. And yes, I was ecstatic with the wide right. Seeing the Bills fans crying in the crowd, like that one picture of the guy from CBS who like pulled his hat over his eyes. I was like, oh yeah. Oh, give it to me. It fed my soul. So yes. The Bills being in pain makes me happy. And if that makes me a sicko, that makes me a sicko. And I think we're going to end on that note. So, I'm going to end the stream. Is it really much worse than when the Patriots ran things? No. It's like... here's my thing with the Patriots. It's like if the Bills won the Super Bowl, then I would hate them less. Because... at least like they're doing something with it, but they just win the division only to lose to the Chiefs or the Bengals in the playoffs. Like at least the Patriots went on and won Super Bowls. Like they did something with it, and so that's why Jonnu or Laporta, Thomas Jr. over Tajay Spears. Those are my two on that one. But yeah, I respect the Patriots. The Patriots having one of the greatest dynasties of all time, like that is commendable. Bills haven't even won a Super Bowl, and yet they still just kick the crap out of my team twice a year. All right, we're going to end the stream on that note. Thank you guys so much. I love you all. Thank you for the support. Thank you for being here. As always, you guys rule, and I will see you tomorrow when I release the latest meeting video, Week 17 meeting video coming out tomorrow. So, see you guys. Love you all.